play at a club outside of town. I was so surprised, I was hypnotized by the sound this cat put down. When I saw this short fat guy stretch a band between his toes, hey, I laughed so hard 'cause the band got down when it finally reached his nose. Hey, y'all, prepare yourself for the rubber band. Whoa, you never heard a sound like the rubber band. Man, you're bound to lose control when the rubber band starts to jam. Got that rubber band up on his toe, and then he wriggled it up all around his nose. That'll tease to blow your mind. Playing all the music, just keeping time. Where in the world did he learn that? Oh, Lord. Oh, I have to get away. For the rubber band, man. You've never heard a sound like a rubber band. Whoa, you got some loose control. Start to rubber band, man, rubber band, man. I watch you moving, just moving. Got him grooving on the corner. It's running up, y'all. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, y'all, prepare yourself. Oh, here's my man. Never heard a sound. No. When the rubber band starts to jam. Yeah, 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 yeah. Boy, that rubber band man's a doozy. Who's so quick, Lord, he'll make you lose it. And then he stuck the shoulder out. He wiggled it up, he wiggled it down. Got his feet to moving, that rubber band off the ground. He lifted it way high at the sky, y'all. And then he oh, get with it, y'all. Hey, y'all, prepare yourself for the rubber band. Man, what you say? Oh, whoa. When the rubber band starts to jam. A rubber band man. How much of this stuff do we think we can stand? So much rhythm, grace, and debonair from one man? No. And then he had to know the twiddle his left toe, but through his knee, got the feeling in his head, y'all. Oh, come on, baby. Won't you cry yourself, hear me? Never heard a sound. Oh, here's my man. And he likes to jam. Starts to jam. Rubber band man starts to jam. Moving up and down, across the land. Got a wiggle all in his waist. Everything about him seems out of place. But just moving, just a rubber band man, just moving, just a rubber band man, get down. Oh, get down, brother. Oh, he can jam, y'all. Oh, the rubber band man. You never heard a sound. You never felt it. See him move. Ooh-wee. What's it doing to me? Rhythms I ain't known before. Just moving up and down, man. Gotta move. I gotta groove. The rubber band man. Oh. Away twinkles and toes with the band on the nose. Oh. How did you do it, y'all? I don't know. I prepare yourself, y'all. Can't see it show. Oh, I play my move. It's all in his hat. That's when he went. And he put down. I'm gonna do my rubber band. I'm ready to jam. I gotta do my rubber band. Twang, 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 twang. Lord have mercy. Twang, 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 twang. It just struck me in my bones. knock on wood. When you see the man do his stuff, oh, done seen enough. Oh, moving his shoulder, got his head moving side to side. Oh, he crimping with a hold on, come on. Oh, well, he's the man, rubber band man.
Man, it's a high disappear. I've seen that road before. It always leads me here. Lead me to your door. The wild and windy night that the rain washed away has left a pool of tears, crying for the day. Why leave me standing here? Let me know the way. Many times I've been alone, and many times I've cried. Anyway, you'll never know the many ways I've tried, and still they lead me back to the long winding road. You left me standing here a long, long time ago. Don't leave me waiting here. Lead me to your door. But still they lead me back to the long winding road. You left me standing here a long, long time ago. Don't keep me waiting here. Lead me to your door. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Good morning. I'm Laura Ross, Vice President of Academic Affairs, and welcome to this very different version of the Academic Affairs Welcome Back. We miss you. This is a very big empty room without all of you here. I want to offer a special welcome to our new full-time faculty who are starting their careers this week. These faculty members have been participating in the new faculty orientation, and I know I say this every year, but I am amazed at the quality and expertise of these incoming faculty. We are so glad that you are here. At your school or department meetings, you will have a formal introduction, but please know that all of us are here to help you if you need anything. Just ask. We have a great welcome back week planned. Please thank Barbara Coleman Foster, Director of the Faculty Center, and Harriet Goodman Gunther, not only for their work on this virtual welcome back, but for all of their accomplishments this year. We're going to begin with a welcome from our president. She has been a tireless and compassionate advocate for faculty, staff, and programs at the college since her arrival, but especially during these past months, and we thank her for that. Please welcome Dr. Georgia Lorenz.
Thank you, Dr. Ross. It's great to be with you here physically, even though we're about 10 feet apart. Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome back from summer break, that is, if you had one. It's wonderful to be here with all of you today, albeit virtually, and we look forward to another exciting year at Seminole State College. Things sure are different these days, and I miss so many things from pre-COVID days. I miss being with you in person for events like this and around campus and in meetings. I'm going to miss doing Point the Way and visiting each campus during the first few days of classes. I miss the hustle and bustle of campus. Any number of words can be used to describe the past 5 months. Challenging, novel, exhausting, revealing, and sometimes all in the same day. I know that for too many people and their families, these last 5 months have brought illness, loss of loved ones, unemployment, financial stress, hunger, and loneliness. Perhaps this is true even for some of you. I am sure that it's true for our students. The next several months may bring more of the same. I have been incredibly fortunate that I am healthy, as are all of my family members, and thank you to many of you who've reached out to check in on me. I'm employed, I have health insurance, I acknowledge and appreciate the good fortune and privilege that I have every day. Count those blessings every day. From a professional perspective, this has certainly been a frustrating and challenging detour from the way I had planned to spend the last 5 months. I was talking with our board chair, Scott Howitt, a couple of months ago and expressed one of my frustrations from a college point of view with the pandemic is that we are mired seemingly every day in making step-by-step decisions about the minutia of our operations. Maybe you can relate to this when you think about how you've had to retool your classes for the online environment and our new reality. Maybe you had an amazing in-person demonstration of thermodynamics that you now have to do online. Maybe you used live debate in class to really engage students in topics. On the operational side, we have literally spent hours talking about student traffic, flow through buildings, CARES Act fund distribution, incomplete grades, hand sanitizer and face coverings, and what to do if this happens or what if that happens. And it feels like an interruption or disruption or distraction from the strategic and innovative work that I want to engage in with all of you to take Seminole State to the next level. I'm not sure if you know this about me yet, but I'm rather an impatient person. I was so excited to move forward with the innovation and strategic reimagining of how we serve students that we discussed way back in November at the Strategic Planning Summit. There we talked about the need for fundamental and transformational change in higher education rather than just tinkering around the edges or creating boutique programs that ultimately only impact a handful of students. The need and demand for innovation in higher education was loud and clear in the press, in public opinion, among governmental leaders, and from students themselves. We talked about embracing a bias towards action. Now the need for innovation and a student-centered approach and action are more critical than ever. I'm reading almost every day in the press about what is often made out to be the pending demise of higher education, that higher education will never be the same. Google and Microsoft are applauded for launching no-cost training programs, offering what people are billing as an alternative to higher education. Southern New Hampshire University is getting headlines for lowering and discounting tuition and charging no tuition at all for this year's freshman class. And I'm not sure if you've learned this about me yet, but I can be a little competitive. My initial reaction to all of these headlines is to be defensive. My poor husband has to listen to me rant at the computer screen while I read them. Chair Howitt suggested that I read The Infinite Game by Simon Sinek, and it became part of my summer reading. And this was the perfect recommendation for this moment in time. The core concept is that many businesses and organizations approach their work with a finite mindset, as if they were playing a finite game that can be won. In a finite game like baseball, there's a beginning and an end, and everyone knows when the game is over who won. And at the end of the season, we know who's number one, who won the whole season. Businesses and organizations that approach their work as a finite game do not succeed. Kodak and Blockbuster are highlighted as examples. Those who operate with an infinite mindset excel, like Apple and Disney. Seminole State is not playing a finite game. We're playing an infinite game. There's no finish line or any such thing as winning. In an infinite game, the primary objective is to keep playing, to perpetuate the game. Sinek writes, "The true value of an organization is measured by the desire others have to contribute to that organization's ability to keep succeeding, not just during the time they're there, but well beyond their own tenure. And the motivator for engaging in the game is a just cause, not fame or fortune." We want Seminole State to facilitate the success of our students today, 10 years from now, and 100 years from now, and we want to leave this college better than we found it. Sinek also points out that those individuals and organizations who understand the nature of the infinite game are prepared for disruptions and the unpredictable and use those instances to be transformed and become better than they were before the disruption occurred. As I said back in November, we were already experiencing disruption in higher education before the pandemic struck and upended our world in March. Now the disruption is much more extreme. We must discover the best ways for our teaching and learning environment, our pedagogical practices, our student services and academic support, and our college operations to be transformed for the better in this critical moment in time. State colleges have never been static. We are nimble organizations and have always been able to quickly address what our community needs. If any institution is able to rise to the post-COVID higher education challenge, it is us. We already proved that in 6 days, we could pivot to provide complete online and remote learning and services because it was already a strength for us in responding to workforce and student needs in our community. More than anything in the last 5 months, we have seen what is possible when we work together, even though we're apart. Our success thus far is perfect evidence of our capacity as an organization. It gives me great confidence that we will approach this moment in time as one for innovation and improvement, particularly as we get ready to launch the new strategic plan. We can't say enough how much we need to thank our e-learning and CTS departments who got us all up and running online in just a few days and continue to support these efforts in significant ways. I want to thank faculty who helped colleagues who may have been less experienced in distance education to make their online classes the best that they could be. And thank you all for your tenacity and perseverance, your creativity, and your commitment both to our students and to excellence. As we embark on a new academic year, I can assure you that Seminole State stands ready to serve our students and community in innovative and interesting ways. You, our faculty, have embraced online and remote learning, and we're continuing to offer the majority of our courses in this format for fall, while some classes which have a required in-person instructional component will be held on campus. The Academic Success and STAR Centers are providing virtual tutoring to help students succeed. We have launched a Rapid Skills Grant Program, which offers financial support for students completing short duration certificates in law enforcement, IT, graphic design, project management, and are working with partners to provide opportunities to upskill and reskill for those whose jobs have been impacted by the coronavirus. We're implementing a new tool called Circle In to help students and tutors and faculty collaborate in a remote environment. and we're continuing to work with students, faculty, and staff to ensure the safest possible environment in which to study and work during this pandemic. I continue to be impressed with how everyone works together to help our students reach their educational goals. I'm also heartened by the fact that so many of you are committed to ensuring that Seminole State will be a catalyst for change in combating racial and social injustice that we witnessed again this summer. I know that many of you are increasing your understanding of and expressing an interest in the need for intentional inclusion and equity in our community. We're taking concrete action to address racial and social injustice, initially through the formation of a joint action committee drawing members from across the college. We've also instituted mandatory training to recognize and address unconscious bias and are pursuing the creation of a more just society through education, information sharing, focused events and discussion, and encouraging everyone to be an agent of positive change. You should all be proud of the fact that together we continue to improve our students' lives and those of their families by showing them what they can achieve with a Seminole State education. Thinking about the impact that you make in our students' lives, I wanted to take some time to recognize our endowed teaching chairs and distinguished faculty. We would normally recognize these individuals in graduation in May, but we're unable to do so this year. So I thought it fitting that we recognize them in front of a faculty audience. This year, our endowed teaching chairs are Professor Angel Nader, who has been awarded the Orlando Health Endowed Teaching Chair. Angel is a professor in the Emergency Medical Services program and has had a huge positive impact on students as they pursue careers in healthcare. His nomination says, quote, "He does much more than is required, collaborating with other departments and being involved outside of the classroom." Professor Nader also started his secondary education with an AA degree, so he can relate to the students he teaches. Congratulations, Professor Nader. Dr. Van Quach has been awarded the Citizens Bank of Florida B.F. Wheeler Senior Endowed Teaching Chair. Dr. Quach is recognized as a tough instructor, but has a level of expectation that prepares students for the real world, specifically careers in medicine, education, and/or science. He also has a "you can do this" approach with students that highlights the importance of personal responsibility. Committee members were impressed by comments from his colleagues that Dr. Quach is an engaging instructor with high standards. Congratulations. Dr. Lori Theodore is the winner of the E. Ann McGee Endowed Teaching Chair. Dr. Theodore loves the "be the change" quote, and the committee agreed that she is a change agent. She has a direct style of teaching that balances compassion for students with content, and the committee was overwhelmingly impressed with her student feedback. It's also clear that her students respect and adore her. Congratulations, Dr. Theodore. And our final winner is Dr. Craig Tidwell, who's the recipient of the SunTrust Endowed Teaching Chair. Dr. Tidwell embraces the remote and online teaching style and puts into application what students will do in the field. He has passion and patience for teaching and understands the importance of interacting with people as an IT professional. Dr. Tidwell also takes a proactive approach to securing internships and jobs for students, often keeping them in the local community. He has changed the perception of a community college education among industry giants such as Deloitte. Congratulations, Dr. Tidwell. All of the finalists were praised for their excellence. We are so happy and proud to have these exceptional faculty members here at Seminole State. I would also like to recognize the winners of the Ken Sylvester Faculty Excellence Awards. They are Professor Laura Dickinson, Dr. Sandra Dillard, Professor Evelyn Julie Edstrom, Dr. Katya Grusakova, and Professor Jenny Middleton. Last year was the first awarding of the Distinguished Professor rank. This optional rank advancement to Distinguished Professor is awarded based on demonstration of excellence in performance of primary duties and responsibilities, college service, and contribution to the profession and discipline. Faculty members can apply during or after their 15th year following the award of continuing contract. This year, the applicants submitted portfolios to a review committee made up of 7 endowed teaching chair faculty members. The review committee sent their recommendations then to Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Laura Ross, who then recommended them to me. Our new distinguished professors include Dr. Frank Albritton from Social Sciences, Mary Colon from Biology, Dr. Michael Hoover from Social Science, Dr. Robert McGraw from Health Science, and Ben Taylor from Information Technology. And a third cause of celebration is for the winners of the National Institute for Staff and Organizational Development, NISOD, Excellence Awards. NISOD Excellence Awards recognize men and women each year who have demonstrated an outstanding commitment and contribution to their students and colleagues at community and technical colleges. The NISOD Excellence Award winners from Seminole State College for 2020 are Jay Spalding, Professor of Studio Art, Lori Theodore, Professor of Nursing, Mary Colon, Professor of Biological Science, and Diana Campbell, Professor of Music. Congratulations to Jay, Lori, Mary, and Diana on your well-deserved award. I am proud that we have such talent among our faculty and such a level of caring and commitment to our students and the college. Thank you all. While we cannot at this time know all of the ramifications of COVID-19 for our institution, we do know that the virus has changed us and higher education, perhaps forever. We should also be mindful of the challenges we face as an institution. When many of you left for the summer in May, we were still waiting for Governor DeSantis to sign the budget. I am pleased to say that he did sign the budget, and at that time kept our allocation at the same level of last year, in addition to funding 3 of our PICO projects, which was pretty amazing. Unlike other colleges and universities, our projects did not suffer from the governor's veto. However, the current budget picture is not pretty. As a result of COVID-19 and the reduction in sales tax revenues, the governor is holding back 0.5% of the Florida State College's budgets each month, 6% for the year, to offset the potential shortfall in state revenue. We are told that if the state's budget picture improves, these monies will be restored, but this is not guaranteed, and honestly, it's not very likely. Before the pandemic, we had also budgeted for a 3.3% increase in enrollment for 2020-2021 based on our summer numbers. We thought this was conservative at the time and would leave room for error or potential state budget cuts. Instead, we are experiencing a significant enrollment decline this fall, particularly among new students. Usually, our enrollment is countercyclical. When the economy is bad, our enrollment increases. But like a lot of things in this pandemic, things are not what we typically experience. We are not alone. Across the country, colleges and universities are seeing enrollment declines. In the Florida college system, all colleges are reporting enrollment declines, and most are down 12 to 25%. There's one case that's down 30%. Seminole State, as of today, is down 19.4% today as compared to 19.9% yesterday. So the numbers fluctuate a little bit every day. But this is in addition to the 3.3% budgeted increase. So we're actually down 22.7% from budget. Existing students are returning, but our number of new students is dramatically reduced by approximately 50%. And this isn't due to anything that we are or are not doing. It's the result of COVID uncertainty. Recent high school graduates seem to be delaying their decisions about college, not knowing what to do. Non-traditional students are figuring out how to get through this time while facing uncertainties related to work, or their children's schooling, or any number of other challenges. An estimating conference was held on August 11th, the FTE estimating conference for our system. And they are recognizing this current uncertainty and downturn, but they are hopeful that there might be a rebound post-vaccine as the economy continues to recover. So whether this enrollment decline will continue for the whole year is uncertain. So the college is anticipating a budget shortfall for the year. The executive team and our departments are thinking about and working on this challenge daily. And with your help, we're pursuing various strategies and tactics to reduce costs and increase enrollment. Vice President Johnny Craig and his team have implemented a rapid response enrollment plan to capture as many students as we can. Student affairs specialists are contacting students to remove barriers and testing financial aid in other areas and to help them enroll. We also have other work underway with deans opening more 12-week and B-term sessions and adding sections and high-demand courses in order to capture late enrollees. We're working with CareerSource Central Florida and possibly with Seminole County to distribute CARES Act funds to students. And we're distributing our own CARES Act funding in $500 and $250 increments to qualified students who take at least 6 or more credit hours this fall. Due to current circumstances, we are saving money on operations such as utilities, travel and conferences, and a few other areas. Executive team also examines every hiring decision weekly to determine if it's necessary to fill vacant positions or that we can let them lapse for a while. All of this work is happening very fast and constantly changing, but we are up to the task. Despite our many challenges, I encourage you to look forward with measured optimism and to plan for and expect a great semester and a great year. Our students expect us to be a steadying force in uncertain times. They expect our calm leadership and dedication to their success. They expect us to focus on providing a safe and welcoming environment, and they expect that we will get them to their educational goals. There are so many incredible things happening here at Seminole State and more opportunities than ever for our students and for each of us to learn, to adapt, and succeed. As always, we remain committed to providing a rewarding and positive work environment and will continue to work directly together to improve and make the college an even better place for our faculty, staff, and students. Thank you for everything you do for our students and the college. Welcome back. Have a great year. And go State, go far.
Thank you, Dr. Lorenz, and thank you for your great comments and your update. Even though it is a little gloomy in places, we are up to the task. And Dr. Lorenz is going to stick around with us for a while to congratulate a few more people. This past year, we awarded continuing contract to 12 faculty members. We offer our congratulations to the following faculty: Diana Christopher from the Language Institute, Dr. Jean Deal Schaefer from Interior Design, Azan Edu from Automotive, Linda Gregory from Business, Randall Jackson from Nursing, and Dr. Shaheen Kanani from Pharmacy Tech.
Also, Dr. Cecilia Larson from Engineering Technology, Ira Locks from Construction, Dr. Christopher Lorscher in Physical Science, Cynthia Pike in Nutrition, Dr. Adam Rock in IT, and Tammy Steffi in Mathematics. Congratulations, and thank you to those who served on continuing contract review committees. We appreciate that important work.
We would also like to recognize those who earned doctorates over the past year. Congratulations to Dr. Annalise Bush, Director of Global Engagement. She earned her PhD in Education and Human Resource Studies with a specialization in higher education from Colorado State University. Dr. Jamie Brickley, professor in the Physical Therapy Assistant Program, completed her Doctor of Physical Therapy degree from Utica College. Dr. Sandra Dillard, professor of Criminal Justice, completed her PhD in Criminal Justice from Walden University.
Dr. Nancy Gasper, Dean of Nursing, graduated from American Sentinel University with a Doctor of Nursing Practice degree. Dr. Joe Houston, Director of the Academic Success Center, received his EDD in Higher Education and Policy Studies from the University of Central Florida. Dr. Leslie Samarco, Professor of Nursing, graduated from American Sentinel University with a Doctor of Nursing Practice degree. Congratulations to all of you on completing your doctorate, especially while working full-time.
Well, what a year it has been. Think about sitting in this room a year ago. Yes, we had a sinkhole under the G building, but that seems like a minor problem now, doesn't it? None of us could have imagined what 2020 would bring. During the pandemic, we have had many heroes on the front lines, our nurses, doctors, and first responders. But we also had heroes on the front lines at Seminole State College as we transitioned online. At the top of the list is our e-learning team. Thank you to April Jolly, Joni Miller, Michael McCurdy, Amy Stewart, Margaret Taylor, Celicia Wallace, Nina Williams, and Acting Director Dr. Lisa Valentino. They developed and offered over 25 emergency workshops and counseled hundreds of faculty in one-to-one sessions. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you to Dr. Dick Hammond and our colleagues at CTS. Throughout the pandemic, they have been on campus distributing laptops, webcams, monitors, and lots of advice. They've also staffed the computer labs for students and faculty in the V building. Thank you to Miguel Sierra and our security team who have also been on campus providing assistance whenever needed.
Thank you to academic leadership team for their incredible support and decision-making this year. Frank Bongione from Academic Foundations, Dr. Cheryl Sicati from the School of Business, Health, and Public Safety, Cheryl Nodal, our interim AVP, School of Engineering, Design, and Construction, Dr. Stephen Summers, School of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Lisa Valentino, Academic Services, Lynn Garrett, Campus Dean for Altamont and Heathrow, Jeff Gibbs, Campus Dean for the Lee Campus at Oviedo, and Debbie Mead, our outgoing Faculty Senate President. Thank you, Debbie. Also, welcome to our newest member, Tracy Harbin, the incoming Faculty Senate President.
Thank you to the academic deans, the schedule building team, and the administrative assistants who had to adjust the academic schedule multiple times. And thank you to Kate Henry and the marketing and communications team who then had to communicate all of those changes.
Thank you to our support services who have delivered their services online since March. Johnny Craig and Student Affairs, Dr. Joe Houston and the Academic Success Center, and Morgan Tracy and the library staff.
Finally, to the faculty who taught online for the first time and to the faculty who assisted your colleagues during the transition, thank you. We are so proud of what you accomplished for our students in such a short period of time. All while many of our students were negatively impacted. Many lost employment while other students served as our essential workers, working double shifts at Publix, delivering takeout, or working as first responders. Yet our students finished spring semester at similar rates to spring 2019 and were equally successful this summer.
Thank you, Dr. Lorenz. I know that many of you will continue to teach and work from home this fall, but as of this week, all campuses are open. However, certain buildings may remain locked based on occupancy or lack thereof. Miguel and his security team are monitoring that usage. You can come to campus and work from your office if you wish. If you plan to do that on a regular basis, please let your supervisor know. We don't want too many people coming to the same area at the same time, so you may need to work out a schedule with your colleagues. Of course, stay home if you have any symptoms that could be COVID-19 or if you have been exposed. Also, if you are on campus, we are asking everyone to help remind students and colleagues about wearing masks and maintaining distance. If you see someone who is not complying, please provide a gentle reminder that we have these requirements. If the person refuses, then maybe it might be time to call security. For safety reasons, please continue to schedule all your meetings with colleagues and students through Zoom. I know some of you would prefer face-to-face meetings, but Zoom hasn't been too bad, right? I have enjoyed meeting your cats and dogs, children, and sometimes others, but I know it can get challenging with multiple people or pets in the house. The other day, my husband Jerry was on a Zoom call at our house. It was an important Zoom call, and I know this because he was wearing a shirt and tie with his shorts. But here was the problem. The printer is in his office, and I really needed something I had printed. But to get it, I would have to walk behind Jerry in full view of his camera. And for whatever reason, I don't know, I just didn't want to be the spouse in the background. But I had a plan to stay out of the camera view. I got down on my hands and knees, and I crawled across the office floor, behind Jerry, over to the printer. I reached up, got my copy, got myself turned around. It's not as easy to crawl at my age. Got out of the office. I was so proud of myself. What I found out later is that Jerry had placed his laptop on a shelf above his desk, so the camera angle was pointing downward toward him, providing full view of the office floor and of anyone who might be crawling around down there. I get a little embarrassed every time I think about that, and I'm half afraid it's going to show up on YouTube. If you see it, you really need to let me know. Anyway, so continue all of your meetings through Zoom. Just avoid any situations that could go viral. Okay, on a more serious note, for those of you teaching face-to-face classes this fall, please remind students the first day that they should not come to campus with potential COVID symptoms. I also suggest that you ask students up front to let you know privately if they have ongoing health conditions like allergies or asthma that might look like COVID symptoms but clearly are not. Please follow all safety protocols that your departments have developed for your face-to-face classes. These vary slightly from department to department, but it is critical that you follow these regulations and enforce them with students. Your students will be looking to you for direction. Of course, we want our students to be able to advance in their academic careers, but your safety and the safety of our students comes first. If one of your students tells you that they have tested positive for COVID, contact your dean or supervisor immediately. Ask the COVID positive student to contact Disability Student Services, DSS. If asymptomatic, the student may be able to continue with online classes, but if symptoms are making the student too sick to participate, DSS will work with the student and faculty member to develop a temporary academic adjustment. Of course, if the student is in a face-to-face class, they will have to quarantine, and perhaps the rest of the class will need to quarantine. In addition, the classroom may need to be disinfected. We have all of those protocols in place. It will just depend on the specific circumstances when it happens. As we start fall 2020, primarily online and remote, I worry about the students attending college for the first time. Without Point the Way, without casual gatherings with friends at the Student Center, without walk-in advising, without student activities. So much happens outside of the classroom. Will they learn what they need to know to be successful in college? Will they engage, a characteristic long believed to be indicative of student retention and success? In fall 2019, we received our results from the Community College Survey of Student Engagement, the SESI. Approximately 1,200 of our students completed the national survey in face-to-face classes in spring 2019. The survey measures active and collaborative learning, student effort, academic challenge, student-faculty interaction, and support for learners. On a positive note, our student-faculty interaction increased a bit, and we outperformed Florida and national cohorts on a few questions. More of our students said they prepared 2 or more drafts of an assignment, worked on a project that required integrating ideas from various sources, made judgments about the value of information, and received prompt feedback from instructors. So that's all good news. But in general, I have to say that our results were not that good. Overall, our student engagement ratings were lower than our 2017 ratings, lower than our 2019 Florida College System comparison schools, and lower than our 2019 national comparison schools. According to this survey, our students said they rarely use academic advising or career counseling. They rarely talked about career plans with an instructor or advisor. They didn't seek transfer advice, and they didn't have or follow an academic plan. And we wonder why it takes so many years for them to graduate. I worry that the students starting Monday morning may be destined for a similar course. I worry that these students won't ask for help or guidance, especially if they are not feeling engaged with you or their classmates, or if they feel like they don't belong in the first place. You worked miracles in the spring when we moved all online. But remember that those were existing students that you already knew. The FTIC students will be new to you, new to college, and all online. So, I suggest you pull out your best methods to engage with your students. And as Dr. Lorenz mentioned, you might also encourage students to use a new tool you'll find in Canvas called Circle In. It will help your students form virtual study groups. And there's a workshop later today where you can learn more about that. You know, if a student engages with just one person at the college, we know their chances of graduating go up significantly. In this pandemic scenario, I think you have to assume that you may be the one and only person the student connects with. They need to know that someone cares about their success at Seminole State. A few years ago at the honors dinner, I will never forget one of the graduating honors students who stood at the podium and said, "Seminole State College is the first place where I felt like I belonged." We provide that sense of belonging and achievement for so many of our students. I want that for all of our students, and I know that you do too, whether we are in a pandemic or not. Dr. Lorenz mentioned the Joint Action Committee and the proposed efforts and strategies to create an equity-minded institution. For years, we have made small efforts here and there to close the achievement gap. Yet our success rate for African American students remains almost 10% lower than our white students. 10%. For an institution of our caliber, that's not good enough. We're better than that, and we're going to fix this. As Dr. Lorenz mentioned, we have been working on a strategic plan the past couple of years, and closing this achievement gap is one of our proposed strategic goals. Approximately 90 of us participated in the Strategic Planning Summit in November, which was really fun, especially seeing Mark Morgan in his Star Trek uniform. There were many sub-teams that day working on various proposed strategic goals. I was on the sub-team to improve access and student success rates for minority and underserved students. Other members included Dr. Job, Barbara Coleman Foster, Dr. Geraldine Perez, Janet Balanoff, Kim Allen, Dr. Tiffany Traylor, and Mamakite Mathapo. Our group had some great discussions that day about strategies we could use to close the achievement gap. As part of the exercise, our team had to envision the college once our goal was achieved. We developed this question: what if every student felt welcome, embraced, valuable, and accomplished at Seminole State College? Wouldn't that be great? And isn't that why we're here? The Faculty Center is offering many opportunities to learn equity-minded teaching and support practices. Please take advantage of these workshops. Also, I hope as departments, you will look at whether you have achievement gaps in your courses and then develop strategies for change. To move the needle, this effort needs to be across campuses and across all disciplines. Another sub-team at the Strategic Planning Summit focused on developing a first-year experience. We are one of the few Florida colleges without a first-year experience, and we need one. We need a program to provide the resources students need to engage, to provide awareness and access to career planning, academic planning, and support services, all at the beginning of their career at Seminole State. So we're going to develop a first-year experience this year, and I'm going to be bold and say this will be the last year that we will be without a first-year experience. We may not be ready at full scale next August, but there will be at least a pilot program in place. Academic Affairs will need to take a leadership role in both of these initiatives, closing the achievement gap and developing a first-year experience. If you want to be involved personally with either of these, please contact me. All of you will have an opportunity to provide feedback on the strategic plan in the next few weeks. Adding these initiatives and other elements of the strategic plan will be challenging. But the one thing I've learned over the past few years in this role, when we work together to solve problems, we succeed. 8 years ago, our completion rates were less than impressive, but when we set a goal to complete more students, we raised our success rates every single year. We now have one of the highest completion rates in the state. In summary, I would say these new initiatives require unity of purpose and continuity of effort. On Monday morning, our students return and our work begins again. It is not easy work, but it is important work and life-changing work. John Lewis spoke to the 2018 graduating class at Boston University. He said to the students, "Roll up your sleeves because the world is waiting for you, waiting for talented men and women to lead it to a better place." He went on to say, "It doesn't matter whether you are black or white, Latino, Asian American, or Native American. It doesn't matter whether you are straight or gay. When you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, you have the moral obligation to say something, to do something, stand up, speak out." During those many Zoom meetings, we often hear the words, "You're muted." I wish I had $1 for every time someone said that to me. Well, this is not the time or the place for any of us to remain muted. We have work to do. Despite pandemics, sinkholes, budget shortfalls, or hurricanes, it is our job and our moral obligation to give all students the opportunity to be successful. It is our job to prepare all students with the knowledge and confidence so they can make the world a better place. The world is waiting for them. Thank you for your commitment to get our students ready. Stay safe, everyone, and have a great week. Thank you. I don't know how you did that, Dr. Lorenz. Oh, really?
On their end, they didn't hear these challenges, they didn't see these. Right.
Oh, good. Did you record it by chance?